Last 2 weeks have been okay money-wise. Not very good on the CX though. Backloads are still hard to get. And I've got some lowlife who won't pay their bill. And it's really getting on my nerves.
Hi everybody, it's David here, Anvil Logistics. It's the start of another 2-week campaign and we're actually starting the video in a hotel and we're in Dundee. So how do we end up here then? It's actually 7:15 in the evening. We've eaten, we're going to have a shower and we've done some paperwork already. So it started basically like this. I got some work off my own customers for today. And that meant this morning getting up, going to Manchester Airport, picking up some air freight that's come in and taking it to Warrington. And then my next job was to then go from Warrington to Holyhead in Anglesey, collect some air freight that's going to go out and take that back to the air freight depot at Trafford Park. So the two jobs combined, not bad money. Not fantastic, but okay to be getting on with. However, whilst on the way to Holyhead, unbelievably, an ADR job was advertised, a hazardous load, and it was for collecting in the next hour or so and going to Dundee. Now, getting work off Anglesey is rare as it is. To actually see an ADR load advertised is even rarer. So I had a problem though, because I'm picking up a pallet. And this freight, although not heavy, was obviously going to go on the van as well. Now I therefore had to ring my own customers to see if they would be okay if I would pick up this freight as well as theirs, because it would mean going to this place in Anglesey, picking it up, whipping round to Holyhead on the other side of the island, picking up theirs, and then for some part of the journey at least, I would have 2 lots of freight on, so it'd be co-loading. So they said absolutely no problem, we don't mind you doing that, it's extra money for you and it's quite quiet anyway, so go for it. So the bid goes in, the customer rang me, I told him what the situation was. Now bear in mind, there was 4 drivers within 50 miles of me. None of those would have been ADR anyway. So the odds on there being an ADR driver on the Isle of Anglesey at that time were pretty slim. I told them the situation, that I was going to have to pick up a pallet anyway, but there's still plenty of room for their load, and then I'd be dropping that pallet off on the way back. They were okay with it because obviously they wanted this stuff picking up, and what it was BA sets, breathing apparatus sets, that had been out on a ship at sea being used by divers who are doing repairs to a rig. They've been brought back to shore at Anglesey and they had to go back to the hire company in Dundee because they've got oxygen cylinders in them obviously. So they were chuffed to get the job done. I was chuffed because it was a really well-paid job to Dundee and the delivery was by 10 a.m. the next day. So everybody's happy. I've loaded the goods on, picked up the pallet for my customers, got that back to Trafford Park. Then the only dilemma I had was, do I go home and get up early and drive to Dundee? Or do I go straight to Dundee, find accommodation, and then get a good night's sleep, and therefore be fresh in the morning when I've dropped off and maybe try and pick up a load back? So I checked out hotel prices. This is a travel lodge. It's quite a nice one actually. It's got a bar, a restaurant. It was 35 quid. It's a no-brainer. So I drove up here, got up here for just before 7, checked in. As I say, I've had something to eat, done some paperwork, and now I'm just going to chill out for a bit. And I'm 7 minutes away from my dropping point tomorrow. It's got to be there before 10, but I've checked and they're open at 8. So what I'll probably do is have breakfast in the hotel because it's cheap, and then whip round there, get it there by 8ish, and then we're going to look to see if we can find anything going back. Now, I'll be honest, I set my home feed to show Dundee, nothing came out at all. I've had a look on the desktop version, nothing. So the chances are not very good, but I got really good money to come up here. With the work I did for my own customers and added to this, it like almost takes me to my weekly target. So we're not sweating, but it'd be nice to get a job back. I have messaged the shipper who I've done work for, who I know sometimes gets work out of Scotland, and said, look, if you got anything going back tomorrow, I'll be in Dundee at this time. I am willing to go back for a backload price for you, help you out, and help me out as well. But altogether, it's a great start to the week for me. Meant to miss rehearsals, but sometimes you've got to go for the money. And as it happens, as soon as I cancelled and said I can't make it, someone else cancelled anyway. So I think they were probably keen on not doing rehearsals that night. So that's not a bad start to the week, is it? Fingers crossed it carries on. Just pure luck. The odds of actually getting a job in Anglesey are so slim anyway. And to actually get a hazardous load in Anglesey, the stars just aligned for me. I was just Johnny on the spot, and it worked out great. But if it means that it puts it towards a good week, I'm not complaining. Right, 27th of February, it's Thursday. It is 7:45 a.m. I've been driven out of the house because the builders have just arrived who are doing some work, and I don't want to be there when they're there because of the noise. I'll take you through what happened after that little video in the hotel in Scotland. I got my delivery done in the morning, and obviously then I want to go home. It was dead. There was no work. I was in Dundee. There was no work, but then I managed to get a job from Dundee on the Courier exchange to Edinburgh, which is going in the right direction, and the money I got for that was more than covering my dues home. So I did that, delivered that. It was a pretty simple job really. It was picking up some display material from a solicitor's who and it was going to the conference centre in Edinburgh. Obviously there's some kind of event on there for them, and I just delivered that to the goods entrance, and then I poodled home because there was no work to bid for. But I'd covered all my dues home, and because of the money I'd made on that hazardous load from Anglesey and the money I'd already earned on the Monday, we were well on target, over target. Yesterday, my people had no work for me, so I had to rely on finding work on the Courier exchange, and find it I did. I managed to get 2 ADR jobs, 2 hazardous loads. One from West Yorkshire going to Derby to a big motor plant, and then I got one from Birmingham going over to the Doncaster area, and the money from those 2 hazardous loads was slightly more than a day's money anyway. So we made money yesterday. We're happy. Today again, my people, no work for me. They are quiet like a lot of other people, and I was going to just stay in the house and have a look on CX if I could find some bits and bats, but I've been driven out. So basically, we're here. We're going to bid for some work, see if any hazardous loads come up, and they may ring me because something may come in. But in the meantime, I'm just sat in the van while it's warming up a bit, and then I'll turn the engine off. I'll see if I can get anything, and I'll let you know tomorrow how we did when I round off week 1. Well, it's Friday now. It's the 28th, last day of the month. So I've had some payments in the old bank today, which is good. I've got one late one though, and it's about 2 weeks late, and he's had 2 emails, a phone call, and a text so far. It's not even a large amount. It was just a cheeky backload at 60 quid. Makes me laugh how they want to delay paying things for 60 quid. It must be hard up. So I just sent him another text, and then if he doesn't do anything about that, then I suppose I'll have to report it to CX, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll pay today. Yesterday, washout, didn't get nothing, nout, nish, nada, gave up, and then did some jobs at home. Today, got a job off my own customers, and it involved driving up towards the Blackpool area, which I get paid to do, picking up and delivering in Mansfield, and currently just parked up in South Normanton down the road. It's like a retail park. I think it's one of those outlet village or something. And I'm just sat here watching a big long wheelbase van with loads of parcels on and cars coming up and collecting. So I can only assume it's some kind of system where he picks everything up, maybe from Heathrow or something, and then comes and meets everyone here and gives them all the stuff, because there's cars coming and going all the time. I would take a picture, but I don't think it's fair to him. Whatever he's got going there obviously works for him. So I'm just going to look for a backload now to see if I can get back from the East Midlands up to the Northwest. And with the job I did this morning, I'm over target this week, but it's been a funny week. If it wasn't for the hazardous load work that I picked up, then it would have been a poor week. But as it turns out, it was a good week in terms of money. Not as much work off my own customers, but they are very quiet. And so what I'll do is I'll let you know if I manage to get a backload or not. I'm going to give it an hour, and if not, I'm buggering off. It's what time is it? It's 11:10, so we'll give it till, say, just around 12 o'clock, and if not, I'm going to hamble home. So you'll see me next week, but in a few seconds. 4th of March, Tuesday, and I'll take you from Friday. I got a backload Friday. I got a backload from down the road from where I was in Hena, and that went up to near Runcorn, and it was a big generator. So that added to the week nicely. Monday, start of this week, work from my own customer, and that was going up to North Yorkshire, one of the regular places to go. They always pay well, those jobs. And I had 2 drops. One down in Cheltenham, and then on the way back up, a drop-off in Wolverhampton. Didn't look for a backload. I wanted to get back for rehearsals with the band. But it was well-paid day anyway, so that was all right. Now today, I got a phone call yesterday, tea time, asking if I could do what's called a fish run. So basically, it's a tropical fish that come into Manchester Airport from aboard. They have to go through customs, and then the vets have to check them. And I am taking these tropical fish, 45 boxes of them, up to a fish dealer in Glasgow, not far from Ibrox Stadium. Trouble is, I knew that I couldn't pick them up till at least 1:30. It turned out that they cleared customs about 1:45, and I was away at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be up near Ibrox 6 o'clock this evening. It'll be a very quick unload because everyone's waiting for them, so they swarm around like bees, like honey. And if I go straight home, I should be home for around 10 o'clock. Now, if there's any work that's worth staying over for in Glasgow or that area, possibly hazardous, then I might stay over. But it's highly unlikely, and I think I'll probably be driving home. I did do a job this morning on the CX. Had a nice lie-in, and then I did a job around 10 o'clock, picking up from just down the road from me, and took it to Hyde. It was a large roll of glass fibre, long one, about 3.5 metres long, very heavy, and took that to a company, as I say, in Hyde. So that was, I think it was 60 quid I got for that, so it wasn't bad money at all. And that will pay for a lot of the juice I'm going to use on this Glasgow run. So it was handy doing that job. And then I've waited at the airport, waiting for my stuff, and on the way. So far this week, we're doing okay. And we'll catch up towards the end of the week with how we did. Thursday, 6th of March. Lovely sunny day again today. And we're on the way to Fareham. I'm just on the M40 at the moment, just been stationary for 20 minutes, but they seem to have cleared up whatever
is going on ahead now. So we did work yesterday. I got back from Glasgow, no backload, surprisingly enough. I did bid for a hazardous load going from Edinburgh the next day, but I didn't get it. So I trundled home, got back home about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and did work yesterday for my own customers, nothing too heavy duty yesterday. Picked up Manchester Airport, went to Derby, and then had to hop up the motorway to Leeds to pick up some hazardous goods from Leeds going to Manchester Airport, and then did a known cargo transfer within Manchester Airport, and I was home for about 3 o'clock. So it was a nice easy day. Money was okay, I've had better, but it'd do. And today we're doing a job for them again, and this one, as we know, going to Fareham, picked it up from Lancashire, pays well this job, probably end up in Fareham just after 1 p.m. Will there be a backload? Probably not. We'll have a look, see if we can pick anything part way, but the way it's been going, unlikely. But fortunately, the money is in the job to get home, and that's probably what it's going to be. Still haven't been paid for my one outstanding invoice yet. Sent quite a few messages, texts, they're all being ignored now, they're not answering the phone. So this will be the first invoice, if it doesn't get paid, that I've ever had unpaid. It's not even a massive amount, it's 60 quid. So I've been debating, shall I name the company and warn people about them? I'm certainly going to be, if by Friday there's no payment in, I will be leaving stinking feedback, because it's nothing but the truth. They may try and reciprocate with some feedback of their own, but I can get that removed because I've done nothing wrong. And I think I might name the company simply to warn other people that they didn't pay me and to be cautious. But we'll see. We'll give until Friday, which is tomorrow. If no payment's in, I'll tell you who they are. Listen, it could be a mix-up, it could be anything. But why aren't they getting in touch to explain that? Friday, I think it's the 7th of March, and we've not had about 24 hours. That job that I took to Fareham, I got myself a part backload. I got a part backload, a long wheelbase job from Havant, I don't know how you pronounce it, going to Birmingham, long wheelbase, and just over £1 a mile as a backload. I was quite pleased with that. It was from a job poster who'd used me before, so I think that helped me. But the money I got for that, covers about 3 days worth of fuel, so that was a lucky bonus. Today, this morning, did a job for my own customer up in Lancashire, get paid to go and pick it up, and then took it to Cheltenham. And on the way back, I've got myself another job off my own customer, picking up in Telford, which I've done. And I'm going to near Manchester Airport with some air freight. So again, not a bad day with a load there and back, or part way back, I should say. Meaning the week itself has been a good week. Money-wise, it's been a great week for me, mainly from my own customer this week. And we're happy with what we've taken, with the additional of a few cheeky little CX jobs here and there. I've added it up and made it a rather decent week. Now, that scabby twat hasn't paid me the 60 quid. Poor sods must be hard up. Now, I have consulted with another friend who's advised me not to name them on YouTube yet. So, they're based in London. It was done as a bit of a backload, part backload. And so it's too much mither to be going down knocking on doors. So, I will put the feedback on when I get home today. It'll be a really crappy feedback, pointing out I advise nobody to use this company. And there is a bit of a forum on Facebook called Courier Exchange Bad Payers, which I'm a member of, and I think I'll put them on there. I would like to say the name here. I'm just a little bit concerned about being open to, being sued or whatever. So I don't see how you can be sued when you're actually telling the truth. That I did a job, followed everything and did everything right, sent the pods and everything. They simply haven't paid me. 60 quid is a lot of money in the big scheme of things. It's the principle of the matter to me. Now they might have gone under. I don't know. But anyway, I'll put it in that Facebook forum to warn people about it. And I'll give them a mention in James Fletcher's chat group to warn other people about potentially using them as well. Because why should people use a company that doesn't pay? And then I think I'll probably have to swallow it. It's not worth pursuing it in the small claims court because for 60 quid I'd practically pay that in costs. So we're going to probably end up writing it off. Unless I happen to be in the area where they're based one day, in which course I'll go knocking on. Not that I expect to get the money, but I might be able to embarrass them a bit. But anyway, that small matter aside, times are hard enough without people paying you. So be cautious on the CX. Check the feedback of the shippers. If you see a negative, you know what? Swerve it. I'd swerve it. What's the point in taking the chance? Just like they would check feedback of drivers, check the feedback of the posters putting the jobs on there. And if there's any doubt, don't bother quoting. Times are hard, and if you're running on a bit of a knife edge financially, you don't want to take that chance, do you? If anybody else has got any suggestions about this non-payer, have you had non-payers and then got your money back somehow? Like I say, it's not a massive amount, it's more about the principle. Then put it on here what you did, because it may help people, especially those who are owed a bit more money. What are the options open to people to recover bad debts? I know if a company's gone under, there's not an awful lot you can do. And I know companies go under, then resurface on the CX in a different name as well. To be honest with you, it's out of order, isn't it? You're depriving ordinary working class people who just want to do a job of an income. I'm sure they'll have got paid for the job. So it's a bit scummy and you're a bit low, in my opinion. So that's it for this week. I'll thank you very much for watching. If you give us a thumbs up, I'd be most grateful. That does help the videos get out there. If you've got any suggestions on things you'd like to know about that may help, that I could talk about, and I'll gladly do it if it makes sense, and I'll put a video out about it. Let us know how you're going on at the moment in these lean times. Are you diversifying? Are you changing the way you work? All tips are always welcome. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.